Hey, what's going on, everyone? Appreciate y'all coming here and checking out this Fallout 76 video. This one's going to be pretty different than what I typically upload. It's basically going to be kind of like a podcast styled video. I'm just going to be conversing with some Fallout 76 PvP content creators over, well, PvP. We're going to be talking about things that players don't like and how Bethesda could improve the game to make it more friendly for all players. We talk about, well, I'll give you one example. What if Bethesda implemented a whole nother server, kind of like survival, except all players have to start over from complete scratch. And that server would reset after like 2 weeks to a month. And within that server, you couldn't transfer over items from adventure mode. That character is strictly for that server. I think that could be possibly something that Bethesda could do within this game to keep the open world PvP aspect, because a lot of PvPers, believe it or not, don't like nuclear winter. Also, we go over some pointers for PvP. The most important one is, well, to stash your junk. We also go over in this trap bases and nuking, because a lot of PvPers do create trap bases. And, well, one way that you can get rid of trap bases is by nuking them. I'm not saying to nuke every trap base out there, but nuking is a part of the game, and, well, so is trap bases. It's kind of fair play in a sense. Also, not to mention, literally on the back of Fallout 76, it literally says to nuke your friends. So Bethesda, had it planned that that's what we'd be able to do in this game. They knew people were going to be nuking each other. But yeah, that's something else that we touch base on in this video as well. Hopefully you find this enjoyable. Once again, it is a little different than what I typically upload. It's like a podcast styled video, and I'm featuring some other Fallout 76 content creators that strictly make content over PvP, so we can get more into the mind of PvPers and what they think Bethesda could do to possibly improve, once again, the aspect of PvP. Which, by the way, feel free to check these guys out. I'll be talking to Lorespade and Dr. Boomstick within this video. I'll have a link down below in the description to their channel. I'm sure they'd be greatly appreciated if you go and check them out. But yeah, and also one more thing, I would love to hear your guys' input too over what you think Bethesda could do to improve PvP. That is one of my main goals over uploading this. I want to kind of chain react some conversations to be stirred up with PvP. It's not talked about too much over the game, and it does need some major improvements. So hopefully this video could help push it more on Bethesda's radar to eventually implement into the game. But yeah, let's go ahead and get into this, guys. Enjoy. Okay, so I guess we start off with how I feel about trap bases. Actually, so you guys both utilize trap bases, right? You like to have a bit of fun with them in game?
I think it's mostly me.
Oh,
Really.
yeah. Okay, so I feel like I gotten on the wrong foot with trap bases. Actually, like 4 days ago in stream, someone got me, and my reaction was basically just, it was creative how he chose to get me. He didn't technically grief me. And the reason why I did say I would like target trap bases, and I keep in mind I will repair them if I do target them. The reason why I was saying that is because, you can die in a trap base being in pacifist mode, but you can also get your camp destroyed being in pacifist mode. So I feel like it's kind of like something kind of fair in a sense to like get back the trapper in a way.
Well, I mean, I'm not gonna lie. If they have a good trap base, it will repair itself.
And I didn't even think about this trapper using a trap base to get me, because I was literally giving away a legacy weapon to him just because he was supporting the stream. I was choosing random people that was viewing my stream on Twitch to give away really good legendary weapons to. I actually made a video a little about it in the past.
This is what really shifts it over to the victim more than anything. And I'm not trying to victim blame here, okay? But I am. People run around with so much junk, and they don't stash it. And this goes for regular PvP in general as well, right? They go into a workshop and they're carrying a whole bunch. Like my favorite targets are people in excavator armor, and they run around with like junk shield, I guess, because they have like bulk everything, all their junk on them, and then they'll run right into that trap camp wanting to buy something from the vendors that are hidden somewhere on the premises, and they'll run right in that trap camp, and they'll die.
Yeah, yeah, and
And then the person, if they're actually there at their camp, they're going to scoop that junk up. And then what you end up having is a really, really upset player because they fell victim to a trap camp.
yeah. So the important thing is to basically put up your junk if you're moving anywhere.
Stash your junk.
Yeah, that's spreading
Yeah,
awareness. And like, as long as someone's not doing a third party hack, stealing things from players and stuff like that, that's part of the game. As much as we may not like it, trap bases are part of the game. PvP is part of the game. Nuking is part of the game. Players are gonna want to play how they want to play to have fun because in the end, we're playing the game to have fun.
absolutely. And one of the things back whenever I first started playing Fallout 76, I knew that I was going to make content for it.
Oh yeah.
And then I made my video, which is actually still, it's an evergreen video at this point, the melee. And that got me kind of on the map, right? And it was just me going into a workshop and killing someone, and that's when some of the hate started, like a month afterwards. You're
What?
griefing
Oh, well,
just by going into a workshop and killing someone.
I think
I
griefing is like
I'm
you're
already
using
a
something
griefer.
that's not intended to be used that way. Bethesda added those traps for our base for a reason. So you're still playing the game how it's intended to. Like, if Bethesda didn't expect any trap bases to happen whatsoever in 76, they wouldn't have added the traps, the radiation emitters, the spike boards, the punji boards, the
Yeah.
flamethrowers.
Well, see, like they had like before the game even came out, you had Pete Hines and God Howard just sitting there, talking about the PvP in the game, and they're like, there is an aspect of griefing into it. We're trying to balance it out. The PvPer, the person getting into all this trouble, they're going to be the content. Like basically, if they go and do something bad, they're going to get a bounty put on them, and then they can't see anybody on the map and all that stuff. And some of that actually got taken away for the most part, the whole bounty system, when they took away camp damage. And this is one of the things about trap camps as well. When they took away camp damage, it basically made trap camps invincible.
Yeah, I miss those days myself. I mean, it
Oh,
was it was awesome. If someone just came to your base and just started shooting at it, you actually have a chance to defend your base. Even then, the materials didn't cost that much to actually repair your base with.
And it
It was
did
just more of
notify
a
you that your base is being attacked too. So if you were away from it,
exactly.
sometimes I would actually literally go all about the entire world. And the thing is, there was a system in place that kept me from doing it all the time, and that was the bounty system. Because I would rack up like thousands of caps and bounties just to just for a bounty hunter to come and pop me one.
yeah,
Like I would go and get that camp, and the thing that I was more worried about is a bounty hunter coming to keep me from destroying that camp. And even then, once I had that bounty, I couldn't see any more camps. And now here's the thing, though: people in parties and stuff like that, they would go around and just nonstop camp after camp after camp after camp after camp, and they'd have a spotter to basically be like, "There's camp over here," so they'd run over there, melt the camp, then they'd go to the next camp. They would just completely take it to a whole nother level
you're doing it solo.
of. I was doing it mostly solo, and in between each time, I would basically have to run around and get more caps somehow so I can do the next one. So it would be a few days before I would be able to do another camp destruction video.
Yeah,
So it took a lot of my time getting everything set up just so I could make content destroying a camp, while these other players would get into groups and just tear down every single camp. And they wouldn't
yeah.
even record
I,
it. They were just doing it for the lulz. I was doing it for content, you know?
yeah. I think the
And
reason why you
yeah,
got so much backlash probably is because maybe that happened to someone else, and they're like, oh man, like like I can't stand this. But maybe that happened to someone else, like
well,
what you're talking about.
yeah,
Someone grouped
basically,
up
I
on
was
them.
a lightning rod for all this hate. So I would get a lot of hate over my videos because there was no other person other than Lorespade that is actually doing all this stuff, but playing within the bounds of the rules.
Yeah, yeah, and like that's another thing. Yeah, I mean, and there are trappers that do play in pacifist a lot. Don't they have? They are open to PvP, but a way you can get the trap base back if you do get trapped, you have the option to go through a silo and target them, unless they're playing it safe. Like I'll be honest, since I am targeting specific people, like I do have my camp in a nukeable area where it can get nuked. And I know that video you guys saw of me, like I blocked these one that came after me. It wasn't because me being nuked. They've just those guys have been targeting me for a while. Not
Look,
just after that nuke video either. I swear they've been targeting me for a while, and it's not just
yeah,
nuking. It
look,
was cryolating. It was
that's the
nuka
thing.
mining.
If somebody is targeting you nonstop, and it happens to me as well. Like if people start following me around way too much, I have to at least take them off the friends list.
Yeah,
Now, if they're really bad news, like I play on the PC, there's hackers and stuff like that. They're really bad news and they're hacking, and I know that they're hackers. They're known hackers. I'll put them on a block list.
yeah.
Uh, I mean, it's horrible. I don't like to do it. I really don't. I don't like to block people.
Yeah, I don't block too many,
Yeah.
but it really takes a
Yeah,
bit to get under
I
my
don't
skin.
either.
And like I said, I do keep my camp in a nukeable area because I feel if I'm nuking someone, then I can get like I should be targeted too. Like people should have a chance to take me out instead of me just hiding behind the protected zone.
See, I'll
Well,
hide behind a protected zone with my trap camp.
Oh, now that's where you are invincible, unless you're playing in like not pacifist mode.
Well, I'm never in pacifist mode, and I've had videos that I've made. Like almost 95% of my PvP encounters are basically recorded, and
That's
I
awesome.
will fight at my camp. I'll fight at my camp.
now see,
Yeah,
that's where me and Laura we differ at. I mean, if I find a hacker on the PC, I do my best to take them out because if they're sitting there messing with me, that's less time they get to mess with other people. And well, I enjoy the PvP, even when I'm getting my butt absolutely handed to me. I still find it entertaining because if I'm able to kill that hacker a few times, hey, that's a win for me.
Yeah.
Because
So you start
caps on
targeting
PC,
them,
they're pretty.
basically,
Yeah, I mean,
since
I
they targeted you
I
like
go.
that.
Yeah, I mean, if I catch someone hacking or whatever using a hacked weapon, I do call them out on that. And 9 times out of 10, I do actually post a video about that one specific person, that one specific interaction. It's not just to call them out on it because it's complete and utter BS. It's more of a to what's the word I'm looking for here? Inform everybody else what to look for in case they don't want to deal with that stuff. That's why I post that type of content on my channel.
Oh, that reminds me. I actually did unblock those guys. We called a truce. They're not going to chase me out with cryolators and nuka mines, but they're still going to target me. They're actually in my stream
well,
Yeah,
last night.
I
yeah.
actually watched your
Being that
stream
you're on
last night and I
Xbox,
seen
you don't
that.
have to
Yeah.
really worry too much about hacks, right?
Huh?
Except for the dupes. But, I mean,
No,
whatever.
no hacks. Just duping. Yeah. But
But
that's
I think
another thing.
maybe
That's
we
another
should
thing.
actually go and like talk a little bit about your endeavor with the whole nuking the vigilant. Look, I think it's fine. I think it's perfectly okay. I mean, you're using game mechanics to do what you want to do in the game. And one thing I love about Fallout 76 is it's open world.
Yeah.
You can do what you want to do in it. Like Dr.
Exactly.
Boomstick, not that long ago, he had a video where he's like level. Which one was that one where that dude got really, really salty at you and started calling you a hacker?
Uh, yeah, I had to like see what was the name. I can't remember the name of the video, but the thumbnail says you just couldn't post the entire video because the guy was so toxic, man.
That was the
I
greatest
was
thumbnail ever.
literally level 20 and I was going around. This guy was max. It was like 64, 65, and there was like three other guys there, right? I mean, only thing I was using was a pump, explosive shotgun, and Raider power armor. That was it. And then I think I had some nukas at that time. I don't remember exactly. It's been a little while back. But yeah, I'll be the first one to admit I can't shoot worth nothing, guys.
But you still have
And
fun with it.
yeah, exactly. I don't care if I get killed. I don't care if a level 500 comes and absolutely wipes the floor with
I
me.
think that's one thing
'Cause
that players really need to think about is, PvP is part of the game. It can happen. It's not like you're running around stealing people's weapons or anything like that through a third party hack or something.
well, I believe that there's a place for it. Now, if someone's just going around and they're off doing their own little thing, not bothering nobody, I mean, if someone runs up and shoots them, they don't respond or anything like that, and they shoot them one more time. I shoot people 2 times before I run off and say, okay, they don't want nothing to do with it. Because first time I don't know if they're AFK, and second time that's an astounding no. I don't want nothing to do with this. I run off, go find something else to do.
Yeah, that's a
Now,
great
if
point.
someone was kept,
Yeah,
if
pretty much that's what I do too.
If you're like starting to harass the
mostly
player.
whenever I start recording is basically like I'll record the instigating part, and if they don't respond or they don't respond in a hostile way, there's no sense in staying there and shooting them for 5 additional minutes and harassing this person. That's right there is when you get into the griefing territory. You get
no,
into
that
the toxic
straight up
behavior.
griefing.
Yeah.
That's straight up griefing somebody.
That's toxic behavior. I don't do none of that.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a debate on what the definition of griefing is. I mean, but I think we all can agree if you sit there and just constantly shoot somebody just for the giggles of it and they don't respond back to you, I'm sure that we all can agree that part is griefing.
Yeah, because you're not
Yeah.
playing the game house intended. If that person's in pacifist mode, they're not trying to fight. And if you're continuing to like freeze them to make them go slow mo, even though he's in pacifist, that's taking it a bit far. I was actually talking to someone the other day.
It's not really a Fallout game.
Yeah.
That's another reason I don't like the Nuclear Winter at all.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
There's
that
so
reminds
many
me.
hackers in that one.
I was
There's
actually
so
talking.
many hackers in there.
Yeah. Yeah, nuclear winter. That reminds me though, I was talking to someone the other day about what they could do to, like, this person's totally against PvP right now, and I was, asking what could they do what could Bethesda do to make you enjoy it a bit more. And they were saying it would be nice if we all got into a new server in a sense, and we'd had to level up in that server, start from scratch instead of transferring over overpowered weapons. I don't really know about that, but that's one thing. And they were saying like they could maybe do like weekly or monthly resets on that server.
I would be okay with that.
So
They'd have to bring back survival mode, and I would be and a lot of people would be completely 100% okay with the fact that you'd have to level up from 0 to just
yeah,
whatever.
and grind your
The whole
weapons.
idea of like resets and stuff like that. I mean, sure. I don't know about weekly. Maybe 2 weeks,
So-
because more casual players would need a little bit of time.
And that's crazy.
I mean,
you guys
I used
agreeing
to
with
play,
that too, because you guys are really into the PvP aspect, and you're saying that would be still fun to you, like having to collect the weapons from scratch, start over a character
If
basically.
it was a survival mode that actually worked, yeah.
Yeah.
Like the thing is that really busted up survival mode is whenever the player vendors came out and camp destruction was null. It didn't just carry over from adventure mode; it affected survival mode. So you could walk right by a camp, it starts shooting at you, and you could even damage the turrets. Like, where's the sense in that in the survival mode? You're supposed to be going a little bit more hardcore than adventure
Yeah.
mode. So yes, camp destruction 100%. And
Yeah, you
people
can
would
set
still
up turrets.
complain.
You could set up things to help
But
defend.
then again, playing on PC, there's a lot to complain about because everybody'd come in with like some god tier stuff and just wipe the floor with you, and that's not cool, man.
Yeah.
So if you was to like go all in to a survival mode that allowed for a lot of the things that like adventure mode used to have back in like when it first started, it would be amazing to like have resets and stuff like that, like in a timely manner, and just start from scratch. That way you don't have these god tier weapons.
Yeah,
Or,
I honestly thought that was a great idea. I just wanted to bring it up just to see what you guys thought about that, because you're really into the PvP aspect.
Well, now there is one thing I wouldn't miss about that, and that is all the salty players. I'm just going to say it. I mean, when I say salty, I mean I don't mean the people who just say, "Hey, yeah, buddy, I just don't want to play." I mean the ones that absolutely lose their mind over it. I mean, at the end of the day, it's just a game.
Yeah.
You're not losing your power. You're not losing your armor, your weapons, your aid stuff, which is the hardest stuff to get.
Yeah,
You're losing junk, and junk is so plentiful out in the world. It's ridiculously easy to go and get some.
yeah.
I
Most
don't
of it
know,
is.
man. Like
Coppers,
I've
some
killed the
things.
people with entire stash box worth like 800 pounds of junk,
How are they
and
carrying that? They have to be an
I
excavator.
Dude,
yeah,
I
exactly.
I'm not
With
even
all their
joking.
food build perks and strengths, got to get
Dude,
pushed.
I'm not even joking. I was playing on the character's not made his debut yet today, and I killed level 14 on it. I was like level 6, right? And I'm not even joking. Somehow, this cat had 3,000 pounds of unbroken down junk on him. I have no
Ouch.
idea how he's done that.
Was he an
Because a
excavator?
max carry. No, he was level 14.
Oh, what the?
Can't get. Yeah, I have. Honestly, I have no idea, dude. I had to make 3 trips to pick it all up. I'm not even joking.
What the?
Here's a pro tip for all you wonderful viewers out there. Don't walk into a workshop area at willy nilly, because even if you haven't actually activated it, the moment someone else activates it and shoots at you, you turn red.
It doesn't matter if you're in pacifist either.
Little
Nope.
pro tip for you.
And Red is dead.
Yeah, so that's the thing with workshops. It is a competitive thing to take them over because there's a lot of bonuses that come out of it.
If they're in a workshop, pacifism does not matter one bit. Like if we're in a team, me and Boomstick, and somebody walks in and they're in pacifist mode and they're inside the circle, I could drop team. If it's my workshop, I drop team, and he and Boomstick can start capping it from me, and I can shoot the person in pacifist mode. He turns red. I can kill him, scoop junk, and then me and Boomstick can get back on a team together, and then he ends up taking the workshop over. But that's because we're in a team. But there's still a dead person right there with junk on the ground that we already scooped up.
Yeah, as long as you're not carrying junk on you, you have nothing to really worry about with PvP. And if you're just running around
just a
pacifist,
max
as
of
long as you don't
50
go after
caps.
workshops, you really don't have much to worry about.
Now,
Yep,
the only
pretty
exception
much.
to that is if you're in pacifist mode and say there's an event at the workshop. If there's an event at the workshop and you join that event, someone can come in and try to cap it from you and not do any damage to you. But there has to be a event there going on, like the power at Poseidon. That's a good one too. That's where a lot of people get away from you at, is because of that event. If they're pacifist.
Yeah, but if you drop out of the event, you can actually get them anyway.
That's another thing I wanted to talk about. Like we were saying earlier, what could we do to help balance PvP? Someone was telling me, I was talking to them about it, and they brought up the concept of making it so there's a timer for using quantums or stealth boys, so you don't spam them during a fight. What do you think about that?
The aid spam situation,
Yeah.
it is a little bit annoying whenever I'm fighting Dr. Boomstick and I can't kill him because he's drinking so many Nuka Colas that I'm just a little bit jealous. But I mean,
But I prepared for
goes
that.
for
a lot
I
of
prepared for that
people.
battle.
You're trying to
all about
counteract other people
preparation.
that have it.
And another thing that would probably balance things out is there's a damage cap for PvP. It's like 190 right now. Here's the thing. Like for a single shot rifle build, that needs to be a little bit higher. And for an automatic weapon, it actually needs to be a little bit lower. Like I don't understand where this 190 thing comes up, because if you're like with a heavy weapon build and you can do 190 to another player with every single shot, like just a few shots and you kill like I get that. Yeah, it's probably supposed to happen, but like if they could survive a little bit longer, it'd be a little bit better.
And Teslas, man.
They have to iron out their damage caps
Too easy.
and make it weapon dependent. Like this weapon has a damage cap of this, while this weapon has a damage cap of this. Like basically base it off the fire rate. It basically turned a lot of builds that used to be okay in PvP to you can't do it anymore. But the thing is, like, another big issue with the whole balancing of the PvP is a lot of it is community based, because right now on the PC, I keep going around, everybody else keeps going around. They can't really find much unless it's like natural PvP. because a lot of the community they want nothing to do with it because they think they're just going to get hammered out.
Yeah, that's
And
what I feel like is a good topic. That's why I feel like it's a good topic for us to discuss this, because I feel like a lot of people just shame it immediately. But if we can just think about a way to help balance it, I feel like just get this more stirring around in the community. I think we may be able to chain react Bethesda to start for it to start being on their radar a bit more.
that would be nice. I think more encouragement to get into PvP situations for the mass majority of players would be ideal, as long as they understand one core tenet, and that's stash your junk. I'm gonna
The
keep
law of the
saying it. You
wasteland
gotta
is what you
stash
called it,
your
right,
junk.
Spade?
Yeah, stash your junk. Just stash your junk, and you can do whatever you want without really big consequences. You can die as many times as you want, and be like, it's not really that big of a deal. But dying is, in a video game, in the long run, will make you better at the game eventually,
Yeah, it's not like
because you'll learn what works and what doesn't.
yeah,
And
it's
a lot of people don't even want to do that.
yeah, like Boom was saying. In the end, it is just a game, and there are different ways players can play to have fun. That's what we're doing here. We're trying to have fun.
I mean, let's get real. At a workshop,
Yep.
there's a big box, and I love this big box that pops up when you go to claim the workshop. It says, "Hey, you can be attacked over this. Are you sure you want to do that?"
Oh yeah.
Then you can click yes or no, and people click yes, and then they get all upset and tore up, which I find absolutely funny when someone comes and takes your workshop and their junk because they didn't put it in the stash box or in a scrap box. And that's the type of content I really like going for. It's because I like to get the reaction of people freaking out over a video game. It's a video game, for crying out loud, man. It's not real life.
Yeah.
Look, one of the best things ever is when you just go into a workshop, start claiming it, in which you can claim it from anywhere. You don't have to go to the workshop station. You can claim it from anywhere. Just open up the build menu anywhere in the workshop, and you can start claiming it. But the moment you do and you start shooting at them, and they start asking you really ridiculous questions like, why are you attacking me? But I've heard it like multiple times in the past week alone. Why are you attacking me?
Can you please stop attacking me? This is my workshop.
It's a
I just need fusion
workshop.
cores.
It is for PvP.
We were just both warned about this.
Exactly. You cannot miss that box. I'm sorry, you cannot miss it. It actually freezes your screen until you say yes or no. There is no way that you can get around by clicking yes or no. Period. That's it. That's why I keep all my stuff to mainly workshops. Like I said, I will go around popping the guy once or twice to see if he wants to go at it just for the giggles of it. And if he doesn't respond, then I move on because there's no sense in sitting there and just intentionally just wasting your ammo, wasting your time, and destroying whatever time he's got trying to play his game, doing his own thing. Because that's not cool, man. I mean,
Yeah.
well, I mean, if you're sitting there just what's the words I'm looking for here? Just downgrading whoever you're killing and just trying to tear them down as a person.
Yeah.
Like Toxic Terry, he was I'm not even going to mention stuff that he said, but he was literally sitting there trying to degrade me as a person, saying I had all kinds of stuff wrong with me. And yeah, it was bad.
Stuff like that shouldn't really be a thing. Look, I understand the whole, trash talking has always been a part of gaming and stuff like that. I get that, but there just comes a time where you just have to maybe change your mindset just a little bit, and not be as toxic as that anymore. You know what they say, hate breeds hate, and you know that's why for the most part, I got to calm down sometimes, and I do for the most part. Playful banter is one thing, but sitting there going all in to the juggler with some hate is not the answer at all, especially in a game.
Yeah.
Now, if someone asks me how I am killing them, I will literally sit there for a good 35, 45 minutes trying to explain to him exactly how I'm doing it. The guy actually asked me how I was killing him and if I could give him some tips about it. I actually ended up giving him the power armor that I was actually using at the time. Like straight up, it's like, hey, this is what you do. This is how you do it.
Here's the thing, though. Like, as PvPers and doing what we do, we kind of have taken the role of being the bad guy. You know, like some people that come to my channel, they come and they look and they're like, this guy is an he's bad. He's evil. He's horrible. I want nothing to do with it. This is toxic behavior. But it's not. What I do is everything that the game allows you to do.
Yeah.
And I'm not toxic about it, but I do go really deep into anything that I can do to win.
And I can just tell, just being in here, I mean, in the party, just talking to you guys, I can sense like your guys' character. I have a good judge of character, so I can tell you're not just going to sit there and like what you're saying. You're not super toxic about it. Like if you try to initiate something for a little bit and they don't want to do it, you just back off. Try someone new.
Yeah.
Exactly.
There's rules.
So yeah, there you have it, everyone. That's about wrapping up this video. Once again, feel free to leave your input on what you think Bethesda could do to improve the PvP aspect of Fallout 76. I know they did implement Nuclear Winter, which is a lot of fun, but what about the open world PvP? What do you think Bethesda could do to make it more balanced? I'd love to once again hear your guys' thoughts. It does need a lot of work. I'm out of here though, everybody. Thanks for taking the time watching and listening. Until next time, remember, try to stay safe out there during these times especially. Peace.